There were several things that went wrong in the process. Hi, I'm Erin, and this week I tried making pecan pie cheesecake. So I've had this recipe saved on my Facebook for, probably since November, right? Pecan pie season. So I decided this was a nice, kind of safe, easy first thing to try for this YouTube channel. So this recipe is by Baked by an Introvert, which I thought was kind of appropriate for this channel, right? Where I'm kind of an introvert as well, but I'm trying to get out of my shell a little more, try some new things, improve my self-esteem. So if that sounds like you, someone who needs a little more self-esteem in your life, go ahead and subscribe so that you can follow me on my journey. So first of all, what went well is that this recipe is just super delicious. It was so yummy, and it didn't even last like 2 days around my house, which kind of a bad thing, but it was so good. It reminded me of why I love pecans. I'm actually the only person in my family who even likes pecan pie, so the only time I really get to eat it is at Thanksgiving, and that's only if we're at another relative's house who likes pecan pie. And now that I think about it, my mom and my sister aren't huge fans of cheesecake either, so, but they liked this recipe too, so I think everybody likes it, but really I was kind of just making this for me, which maybe that sounds selfish, but I wanted to make this recipe, so I made it, and everybody ended up loving it. So basically what this recipe is it's a layer of graham cracker pecan crust, a layer of cheesecake, and then a layer of pecan pie filling on top. And it was so delicious, so good. Every single layer was good. The crust, I think it absorbed some of the pecan pie filling, so it ended up getting like really kind of chewy and crunchy, and it was just super good. The cheesecake was really creamy and kind of tangy and delicious, just like you want cheesecake to be. And then the pecan pie filling was the best pecan pie I've ever had. So here is a picture of the finished product. Doesn't it look so yummy? And I kind of got a happy surprise because I halved the recipe and baked it in a smaller tin, but I ended up having like at least half of the pecan pie filling left. So I have a little 4-inch spring pan that I just whipped up a graham cracker crust real quick and baked up the rest of the pecan pie filling in its own little mini pie. So basically I made a little mini pecan pie, and that was, I don't want to say this, it might sound bad, but I might have liked that even better than I liked the cheesecake, just because I like pecan pie, and that was the best pecan pie I've ever had. So this recipe is actually really versatile too, because you can just make the cheesecake from it and you'll have a delicious cheesecake, or you can make the pecan pie from it and have a delicious pecan pie, or you can combine them like the recipe says, which is great too. But it was so good. I couldn't stop saying how delicious it was and kind of tooting my own horn because it turned out and it was really nice. But this was not a perfect attempt at making these recipes. There were several things that went wrong in the process. So to make the pecan pie filling, you have to heat brown sugar, honey, vanilla extract, and maybe something else I'm forgetting on the stove. And then you let that come to a boil and then cook it for 2 more minutes. I don't necessarily know what I did wrong. I think I probably just cooked it too long, but this is how my first batch of the pecan pie filling turned out. it became just like really hard. It was almost like a sucker consistency, so I think I must have just cooked it too long, even though I didn't cook it for the 2 minutes it said. I don't know. So the good news is that, I mean, that stuff was still really yummy. Like I said, it was the consistency kind of like a sucker or a hard chew, or not a hard chew, or like a hard candy. And so what we ended up doing was cutting it into little bite-sized pieces, and then we just kind of sucked on them, and they were really good. They kind of reminded me of something you might find in like an old Western town, in like an old candy store. It's kind of molassesy and just super sweet and really yummy, really simple. So even though I messed it up, it still turned out okay. We just ended up getting an extra treat from it. So I did end up making a second batch of caramel pecan filling stuff, which ended up turning out perfectly. But I had read on the recipe, she had a warning that if the pecan pie went above where your crust was, it could end up seeping into the crust and gluing the springform pan shut, which is exactly what happened to me. Not on my cheesecake, pecan pie cheesecake that I made, but on my little mini 4-inch pecan pie that I made, it ended up gluing my springform pan shut, and we could not get it open. I got a knife out and was going around it trying to open it, and I ended up stabbing my finger, which was super fun. It's mostly healed up now. It's just like a little scab now. But eventually I just gave up trying to open the springform pan, and I just cut pieces of the pecan pie right out of the pan. So that was something that went wrong. So, I mean, I had a really fun experience doing this. It took me a lot longer than I was kind of anticipating, just because a lot of things went wrong. I ended up making this on Sunday, so I came home from church and started working on it, and I don't know if I want to admit this, it probably took me like 2 or 3 hours to get this made, just because of everything that went wrong. And also, I'm a pretty slow baker and cook, just because I want to make sure I don't mess anything up. That's kind of like my perfectionism side kicking in. But it made me feel better that in the past, when something took so long, or I messed it up, right? Like I messed up the caramel filling, I have a tendency to kind of beat myself up a lot, or get really embarrassed and you know, have all these negative thoughts like, oh, my family's gonna think I'm such an idiot, right? Because I messed the caramel up, or they're gonna make fun of me because I glued my springform pan shut, right? Like I have all of these kind of nasty thoughts in my head, but I didn't really have too much of that this time as I worked on making these things, which was kind of nice. I think that's because I've been working on some of the exercises in the Self-Esteem Book. Right now, I'm on the chapter about talking back to your negative thoughts. And so that's kind of what I did. Like if, you know, if I felt sad about the caramel, or if I thought like, oh, they're gonna think I'm really stupid, I just thought, you know, no, it's fine. It turned out okay in the end. We had some yummy treats, and kind of something that I learned is I did make mistakes doing this, but they didn't ruin anything. And I actually ended up getting 3 desserts out of this recipe because I messed up rather than just 1, which is a win, I'd say, right? So yeah, I had a really fun time making this recipe. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for my next video. So if you have suggestions of something you think I should try, put a comment down below, or shoot me like a text or an email or something. Or even better, like if you have something that you do and you want to invite me to come along and try it, I'm game, right? So I do have a list of things that I'm wanting to try. Some of them are kind of hard. We're still kind of in an unknown territory as far as COVID, and I want to be careful with that. For the first few videos of this, it might just be stuff at home that I'm doing, and I hope that you guys are okay with that. But yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you will subscribe so that you can follow me on this journey and we can learn and grow together. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.